这个故事如果你听起来不累，那么你的英语能力在美国日常生活是完全够用的。要持续提升英文，记得点击订阅按钮。我们开始吧。
You know that feeling when someone says something totally impossible? Like, I'll clean my room every day, or I'll stop drinking coffee. Yeah, right. When pigs fly. But why pigs? Why flying? That phrase has a story. And it's a good one. It starts with a man who refused to listen. Imagine a small farm in America, around 1850. Life was quiet. The biggest event of the week was market day. In this town lived a farmer named Tom. Tom was a thinker. While others worried about crops and rain, Tom stared at the sky. He watched the birds. He was fascinated by flight. His favorite animal was his pig, Penny. Penny was smart. She could even come when he called her name. One night, Tom was in the barn. He looked at Penny, then at the birds on the fence. A crazy idea popped into his head. What if, he thought, just what if a pig could fly? The next day, Tom went to the town's general store. He saw his friend, the blacksmith. "John," Tom said, full of excitement, "I think I can make a pig fly." John almost dropped his hammer. He laughed so hard he cried. "Tom, my friend," John said, wiping his eyes. "Pigs are solid. They are made for the ground. For mud. Not for the sky." But Tom just smiled. "You'll see," he said. This was the first ripple. The first time people thought Tom had lost his mind. Word spread fast. In a small town, news travels quicker than a horse. Soon, everyone was talking about Tom the Dreamer. Kids would point at him. Women would shake their heads with a smile. Men would slap his back and ask, "So, when is the big flight?" Tom didn't get angry. He saw their doubt as fuel. This was the first little climax. The whole town was watching him. The pressure was on. Tom got to work in his barn. It became his secret lab. He studied everything he could find about flight. He looked at bird feathers. He noticed how light they were. He saw how their wings caught the air. Penny would watch him, blinking softly. Tom talked to her like a partner. "Don't worry, Penny," he'd say. "We'll show them." He started building. He used thin wood for frames. He used light cloth from old shirts for the wings. He made a little harness. It wasn't fancy. It was full of hope. After weeks of work, Tom was ready for a test. He didn't tell anyone. He took Penny to a small hill behind his farm. He attached the wings to her harness. Penny grunted, a bit confused. Tom gave her a gentle push. She ran forward, the wings flapping awkwardly behind her. She didn't fly. She stumbled and rolled down the hill, landing in a soft bush. Tom ran to her. She was fine, just a little dirty. He learned something important. The wings needed to be bigger. Maybe stronger. This was a small, private failure. But it was a start. Tom went back to work. He improved his design. He made the wings wider. He tested the harness again and again. Penny got used to the strange contraption. She would even run around the yard with it on, which gave Tom an idea. Maybe she needed to run faster. To get more speed. He decided it was time for a public test. He was no longer afraid of being a joke. He invited the whole town. Come to Miller's Hill on Sunday, he announced. See something amazing. Sunday came. It felt like a festival. Families brought picnic baskets. Kids ran around, excited. The atmosphere was a mix of curiosity and mockery. People were there to see a show, but they weren't sure what kind of show it would be. Would it be a miracle or a disaster? This was the second, bigger climax. The anticipation was huge. Tom arrived with Penny. She looked calm, wearing her improved wings. Tom led her to the top of the hill. The crowd grew quiet. All eyes were on them. Tom took a deep breath. He whispered to Penny, "Okay, girl. Let's try." He gave her a firm but gentle push down the slope. Penny started running. The wings caught the wind. For a glorious 2 seconds, her front feet left the ground. It wasn't a soar, but it was a lift-off. A collective gasp came from the crowd. But then, gravity took over. She landed softly in the deep, muddy pond at the bottom of the hill. There was a moment of silence, followed by roaring laughter. But it wasn't mean laughter. It was warm. It was filled with affection for Tom and his brave pig. Tom helped Penny out of the mud. He was smiling. He hadn't made a pig fly, but he had made her glide for a second. He had done the impossible, in a way. The mayor came over and clapped him on the shoulder. "Tom," he said, "you're something else." From that day on, whenever someone in the town had a wild, impossible idea, people would smile and say, "Sure, I'll believe that." When pigs fly. The phrase was born from admiration for Tom's spirit, not just mockery. It spread to other towns, then to newspapers. It became a part of the language. Now, think about this. What's your pig? What's that thing in your life that feels impossible? Maybe it's speaking English without an accent. Maybe it's starting your own business. It feels huge. It feels as likely as a pig flying. But remember Tom. He didn't succeed in the way he planned. But he tried. He learned. He brought a town together. He created a legend. The phrase "when pigs fly" isn't just about failure. It's about the courage to try something crazy. It's about the journey being more important than the destination. So next time you think something is impossible, think of Tom and Penny. Take a small step. Build your own wings. You might not fly at first, but you might glide. And that's already amazing. That's the real story of When Pigs Fly. It's a story about trying. Thanks for learning English with this story. What's your When Pigs Fly dream? Share it below. Let's support each other.
你太棒了，你学完了全部内容，你离英语自由又近了一步，下个视频见。